2022 Kawasaki Versys 1000 Best Adventure Motorcycle 2022. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 range is expanded for 2022 with the addition of a new entry-level standard variant, plus a new SE trims to sit above S. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 range will continue on into 2022 with only minor changes after the Japanese company confirmed the range will be expanded out to 3 trim levels. The flagship of Kawasaki's popular adventure tourer Versys lineup, 1000 retains the same signature look and 999 cubic centimeters engine generating 118 brake horsepower and 75 foot-pound of torque. Instead, the big changes come with a rejig of the trim levels with the addition of a new top-of-the-range SE version, plus the inclusion of a new standard model which provides a new entry point into the range. The existing standard is now known by the S trim. Kit levels on the Kawasaki Versys 1000 SE over the S include the addition of electronically damped Showa Skyhook suspension and other electronic rider aids designed to promote greater confidence over touring adventures. Prices for the Versys 1000 SE start at £14,999, rising to £16,699 for the Grand Tourer with larger panniers and more practical pillion solution. The standard Kawasaki Versys 1000 meanwhile comes in at a competitive £12,099, but does without the electric rider aids and rider modes and TFT instruments, while a larger windscreen, grip heaters, and hand covers are priced accessories. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 is the latest in a run of range updates from Kawasaki, many of which are expected to feature in an upcoming unveiling by Kawasaki's USA arm, plus the recently revealed Kawasaki Z650 RS. Kawasaki will then have 3 models to present during November's EICMA show in Milan, with rumors pointing towards a successor to the Kawasaki ZX6 or sports bike. Kawasaki Versys 1000 gets new variants for 2022. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 family will see the addition of 2 variants in 2022, albeit ones that sport minor changes. The Japanese giants have confirmed that the Versys 1000 will be available in a top-of-the-line SE version and a base standard model set on either end of the already available model that now adorns an S suffix. All 3 variants will be powered by the same 1043 cubic centimeters inline-4 engine, with peak output figures unchanged at 120 horsepower and 75.2 feet-IB of torque. The bike's design is the same, and nearly all the differences are to do with the hardware components and electronics. The top-end 2022 Kawasaki Versys 1000 SE will feature electronically damped Showa Skyhook suspension, in addition to a comprehensive electronics package that includes multiple power modes, cornering ABS, and adjustable traction control. On the flip side, the base model does away with most of the electronics, no rider aids, power modes, and TFT display. You do have the option of kitting the bike with a windscreen and heated grips. Visor Down reports that the base Kawasaki Versys 1000 is priced at €11,995, about $13,914, making it a whole €4,700, about $5,452, more affordable than the range-topping SE. Kawasaki recently did the same thing with the Kawasaki Z900 by introducing a higher-spec Z900 SE. The Z900 SE received higher-spec components in the form of an updated suspension and more competent brakes. A fully adjustable $41 million fork and Öhlins S46 monoshock handle suspension duties. A remote preload adjuster at either end gives you the ability to tweak your suspension without any tools. With EICMA just a few weeks away, we're looking forward to any other exciting launches that Kawasaki may have in store. The 2022 Kawasaki Versys 1000 takes the less is more approach. Among adventure motorcycles, the Kawasaki Versys 1000 has been more of a dull yet packed deal. Dull here is not in terms of what this Kawa has to offer, but in the overall charisma that the Versys 1000 puts forth. It looks bland and has a dated design language with a splash of green. In the exciting and drooling lineup from Kawasaki for 2022, this sure looks out of place. And if you put it against the competition that includes the much beefier looking ones like the KTM 1290 Super Adventure R, BMW S1000 XR, Ducati Multistrada V2, Yamaha Tracer 900 GT, and Triumph Tiger Sport, this green entity doesn't stand a chance. As the Versys cannot go balls out here, Kawasaki has taken a rather mellow turn for 2022. The new Versys follows a less is more mantra, which adds a new base trim that is cheaper but doesn't compromise on its commendable electronics package or performance. Its USP is still the impressive value for money perspective that, despite its dull outlook, makes it a jack among its pricey competitors. All said and done, the 2022 Kawasaki Versys remains one of the most versatile adventure touring motorcycles out there. And its impressive list of touring-ready accessories makes things much easier for the nomadic riders. 2022 Kawasaki Versys 1000 updates, a Versys for everyone. Kawasaki has gone simple with the 2022 Versys 1000, and this is because of a humbler and possibly cheaper trim edition called Standard. This is also accompanied by a new top-of-the-line trim called SE that sits above the already existing S trim from last year. The downside, if you are the hardest of critics of please, is that the Standard trim is devoid of many electronic goodies like Showa Skyhook suspension, rider aids, ride modes, TFT instrument cluster, and touring-specific bits like a larger windscreen, grip heats, and hand covers. All of this, however, can be had as priced accessories. And this layout now allows for people with various demands to get a Versys 1000 of their choice without a hassle. 2022 Versys packs a dependable 120 HP inline 4. There are no changes whatsoever on the engine front, and the 2022 Versys 1000 comes equipped with a very versatile power plant. The 1043 CCS inline 4 liquid-cooled unit pumps out 120 HP and 75 lb-ft of torque, ample to take you far and long with comfort. This is the same engine from the Ninja 1000 SX, albeit in a different state of tune. The performance is unchanged across the trims, but features like a bidirectional quickshifter come as an option low down in the list. The vanilla tourer with a smooth punch. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 has made a name for itself by being the easygoing, smooth touring machine. The rider doesn't need to work with the motorcycle here, as it puts forth a well-balanced package of linear performance, nimble handling, and cozy ergonomics. Even on the base S trim, the suspension and braking setup is well-balanced and consists of 43mm inverted front forks with KECS tech, gas-charged rear shock with piggyback reservoir, and dual 310mm calipers up front, along with a single 250mm caliper at the rear. So, despite having little to no drama, the 2022 Versys packs a solid and smooth punch when it comes to dynamics. 2022 Versys 1000 continues to impress with electronics. Kawasaki never disappoints when it comes to electronics, and the 2022 Versys 1000 packs quite the bucketful. Features like cornering ABS, traction control, cruise control, and full LED lighting are standard even for the base S trim. Kawa also packs the 2022 Versys 1000 with assist and slipper clutch, economical riding indicator, power modes, and quick shifter, to name a few. A famed feature in the electronic suite is its electronically adjustable suspension system called KECS, which is a blessing for touring. This helps you to soften or harder the riding dynamics at the click of a button. As for smartphone connectivity, this Kawa has got it covered as well. It comes with a TFT display that can sync a smartphone and various features using Radiology, the app. And for the full LED lighting setup, it also comes with cornering lights, a much needed feature for long night rides.